Hello. I don't know what happened. I pressed the wrong button. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Come on in and say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. It's Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, depending on where you're all at. And welcome Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I am doing my best to get YouTube on here. And are we there? Yeah, there we are. And then I just have to turn the volume down so I don't hear anybody. Mary Jane, hello. Wildest Dreams, hello. And who else is here? Come on and say hello. Um, Gail, good afternoon. Michelle from Idaho, hello. Joy to the world, hello. Cousin Jody, Jean, in our neck of the woods, hello. You remember Jean from the retreat last year? Yep.
Yes.
So welcome everybody. So we're here with Jamie, and Jamie owns a company called H3. And what's your website?
What is my website? StudioJadeLLC.com.
StudioJLLC.com, right?
Yes.
That's it. I'm gonna put it in there. And look, there's Kira. Hi, Kira. We had Kira on last night. So good to see you here. Thanks for being here. So, Jamie, you have been a hairstylist for how many years?
Over 26 years.
Over 26 years. You are a mother of two wonderful boys that are being very quiet this morning. Very good. And you decided to become a holistic health coach. And I love what H3 stands for. Tell everybody what it is.
Home health and happiness.
Home health and happiness. So good. Because isn't that what you want? I mean, that's what I would want. How did you get started? Let everybody know.
Well, let's see. I obviously, like I said, I have twins. They're now 7, almost 8 years old. And during COVID, I was shut down. I wasn't allowed to do hair for about 12 weeks. And so that really started my wheels turning on how I was going to be able to support these two small kids and
You
be
were divorced.
successful. Yep. I was in the middle of going through a nasty 3-year divorce. So while I didn't have income coming in, I was also hemorrhaging money to attorneys. And so it was just a whole process. I've always been into health and well-being. I was an athlete. And then I ended up with a lot of health complications with my pregnancy and thereafter. And so it just felt like a really good segue for me. And, in all honesty, I've been health coaching behind the chair for probably majority of those 26 years. And so it was an easy transition for me. And so I went to school at IIN, which was an online course, took me over a year. And I learned about 100 different theories on food. Learned that it's way more than the food on the plate. It's all the different aspects. And how they can come together and really impact your health.
So when you talk about home health and happiness, it's not like the health coaching is just not only about the food. It's
Right.
about the lifestyle, it's about our sleeping, it's about so many things, correct?
Correct. It's about relationships. Finances play a part in that. Your community, your sense of community, your spirituality. It all plays a huge role, as well as eating well and exercising and those things that we already know. But really, the piece for me was self-care. That's why it was fun to come talk about it today, because self-care is a huge part when you have small children and you're a giver and a people pleaser. I'm a reformed people pleaser, I like to refer to myself
Reform, yeah.
as.
Yeah.
Yes. Working on boundaries and finding ways to carve out time for me was really challenging. I hit the ground running really early in the morning. I take care of my kids. I get them to school. I go to work, and so it's a very busy lifestyle. And sometimes you just get caught up in that tornado without pausing and finding ways to take care of you.
She gets up at 4, everybody. 4 a.m. That's 4 a.m. Not 5 or 6,
No.
4. And
It
she doesn't go
started out at like 5, and then I just kind of morphed because, part of my self-care routine is carving out that time in the morning before all the chaos of the day. I tried to do it at night and I was just too wiped.
Yeah.
It's too hard, and then the kids would be waking up and there really wasn't a consistent time for me. So my consistent time for me is in the morning. I like to do my gratitude journaling. I like to have my meditation and spiritual time. I like coffee. I'm a coffee girl. I also like tea, but I'm a coffee girl. So having my cup of coffee in the quiet was really, really important.
So we're talking about loving a healthy self. What would be one small thing that people could do?
Well, there's many little small one.
Many small things, and
I
you gave me a list of them. So,
did.
You did give me a list of them. But what is something that, like, who is your typical client?
Oh, I've got a lot of diversity in my clients. I don't know that I can say a typical client, but what I hear time and time and time and time again is that everybody, especially right now in this climate, they're very stressed. And so finding ways to breathe and just focus on something other than the chaos of the world going around. So pausing, journaling, some people like to write it out. Some people need to talk it out. Some do both. But finding those little 5-minute increments where you can do something positive, whether that get out, you're at work and you just need to hit the pause and you go for a walk around the block, getting outside, breathing some air. We've had really cold temperatures, so, that might not feel that good, but I enjoy it. It makes me wake up a little bit more. But the big one, is listening to, what your body needs, what you need. You can feel when you get stressed, your shoulders go up to your ears, you start vibrating, you get tense, So pausing and even taking a breath, focusing in, on breathing in, doing the circle breathing or the, where you're breathing in for 4, pausing for 4. Yep. Breathing out for 6 and then, holding for 6. You can do that and it just really calms down your system and gives you a minute to recollect.
So true. So true. Good morning, Sheila. Joyce says self-care is challenging even after kids are grown and gone. Never seems to be enough hours in the day. Good morning, Buffy. So you're talking about, like, one of the things on here you said is for you, it starts with finding that calm space inside of yourself, a sense of home within, no matter what's going on around me. When we feel grounded, we can start focusing on what truly matters: our health, our happiness, and the things that bring us joy. So listening to your body, paying attention to what you need: rest, movement, nourishing food, or connection. Well, you're starting the day at 4 o'clock in the morning. What do you do to nurture the body throughout your day? Because as soon as you drop those kids off for school, boom, you're like full-time going. She takes a ferry, you guys, to work, which is really cool. Because she lives on the other side of the island, and we're not talking Hawaii. But she just saying. But that's also your quiet time, right? That 45.
Yeah, I'm actually very blessed that my commute for work, I live in one city, I work in another. My commute for work is on the water. So I am looking at mountains, I'm looking at trees, I'm, looking at the water. I see whales, I see seals, I get to see heron, I get to see a lot of nature every day. And that's very grounding for me. It's been, my kids often say, Mama, you need to work, closer to home. And I'm like, no, I really don't. I enjoy that. Like, it brings me back down. It grounds me. Water's always been very therapeutic. I've always lived, somewhere around the sound, and so I just feel very blessed and grateful for the area that I live in, because it is absolutely beautiful. And that's really been an easy way for me to turn in and focus on my gratitude and what I'm grateful for. And for me, I do start my day every day with a gratitude journal, and I list 5 things that I'm grateful for. And I've started that with my kids as well. So health coaching has also been a good, if I'm not calm in myself internally, it's going to come out. My kids are going to see it. They're little filters for me and my energy and what's going on. So I've had to navigate a lot of stress over the last, 7, 8 years, and not push that onto them. I've had to find that inner calm. And so much of that is routine and ritual for me with my mornings.
It's an important piece, because I know even for me, the morning time, like John doesn't get up till an hour later, and I love that 1 hour of, I sit down, I ground myself, I say hello to my mom and dad. And yes, everybody, I changed the bookshelf so you can see. Look, synchronicity. Woo, new book. So shameless plug. So it's really important for that downtime. The part that I have a problem with is the food. And that gets in the way a lot. Good morning, Ginger. Good to see you. Ginger says, good morning. Love the hair. Yours, not mine. Or both of ours. I don't know.
I think it's yours. It's looking really good.
Thank you.
Yes, I made you change it.
She did. She's like, would you please, your hair goes naturally this way. Would you just, I'm like, I've worn it like this so long in my life. And she's like, and it's time for a change. So I was like, all right, we're moving it this way. And there it is. It's got extra goop in there today. So the food is always the challenge for me. Like, okay, I get up, John's up. We have one kid that's at college now, so we don't worry about him as much with food. And the other one is self-sufficient. Like they're good kids. They're just like, well, they're done. I'm like, did you already make breakfast? Yeah. So now I'm like, oh, do I make myself a delicious, healthy shake that's so nutritious and so boring? Or do I go for the yogurt? And put a little drizzle of honey in it, and then scrunch up, because I got so tired of the shakes day in, day out. I needed a crunch. I needed something crunchy. So I didn't want to use granola, because we were like, oh, granola. So I took some healthy cereal and I grinded it up, and I sprinkled that on top of the yogurt. And nowadays they give you the yogurt. I don't know about all of you, but 2 tablespoons just does not do it in that little tiny cup. So I do like 2 of them.
Have you done hemp hearts? How about any nuts?
I can't do walnuts for.
Well, there's a wide variety of different things, nuts and seeds to choose from.
Right, but we were holding off on nuts and seeds for that lower GI issue that I was having. So
if you grind them, though, is it still really going to be an issue?
I don't know. I haven't tried that. Good morning, Janet Zavala. Look at that. And look at the baby that she's holding. I love the picture. Todd does hemp hearts, and it's so good. Oh, okay. Chia. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I've learned to go with the flow with multiple cowlicks in my hair. Embrace the drama. I have 2 cowlicks in the back of my head. That's how you never see them. Right. Does Starbucks have hemp hearts? You're funny, Ginger. You're funny. They are finely ground, so no issues. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So tell us, what would be good, like, because I know you like your beet juice.
I love beets. Beets are good in any capacity. They're so good for you. I think they're like one of those, unsung heroes. They're just there's so many good benefits with beets. But yes, if you do consume beets, especially the purpley red ones, it will change the color of your urine and your stool. So don't panic. Because that's happened a time or two where somebody has eaten a lot of beets and then they were like, "What? Do I need to go to the doctor?" No, you don't need to go to the doctor.
Do you see what Ginger said?
Well,
To me.
Ginger, how are you preparing them? My favorite way to eat beets is to cut them into very small little pieces and roast them in the oven with a little bit of olive oil and some rosemary and a little pepper. They are sweet and delicious that way, but yes, they are a root vegetable. So depending on how you are prepping them, I imagine they may taste a little dirty.
You have to wash them, Ginger, after you get them out of the ground. I'm teasing you. Pickled beets, sure. I love fresh garden beets with a little lemon. Okay.
Good deal.
Michelle. Roasted beets are yummy. I can't stand canned. I don't like any canned vegetable. Honestly, truly. I mean, canned corn at one time, but now I don't even like corn in a can. It's just weird. It's weird to me. So doing something healthy, would you say that the breakfast is the most important?
For me, I am very big component of breakfast just because I know my day gets chaotic. So I'm very much a food prepper. I have a couple days a week where I prep up snacks and things that I can throw together very easily. My parents are my childcare, so often in the evening they're able to throw stuff together if it's all prepped and prepared. But yeah, I'm a very big component of food prepping, and we eat fish and veggies for breakfast sometimes. I mean, we do a lot of dinner for breakfast, which is kind of funny. But I do in the spring and summer when there's our garden's going strong. We do a lot of big shakes. We blend a lot of kale and spinach and arugula, and then we throw berries in there, and the hemp hearts and the pumpkin seeds and flaxseed, and we try to put as much plant diversity into our shake as we can, and that's pretty filling, and it lasts for quite a long time. But then that way, through the day, if you're busy and you just are grabbing something quick and easy, it's there for you to grab. I think temptation to eat junk comes when there's nothing handy or nothing there that's readily available.
Kira says she loves pickled beets, but also I boil them with balsamic vinegar and goat cheese. Delicious. Joy said, phew, I dodged a phone call with Jamie saying it's normal for a color change. You're cute. You had tilapia and potatoes for breakfast on Valentine's.
Ooh, there you go. There you go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, all right. So we talked a little bit about like breathing and stress, and we talked about food. What are the happiness piece? What would you
finding
say?
Joy. You gotta find joy. You have to. I love the book, The Book of Joy by Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama. It's one of my favorite Audible books because I like to listen to their voice, but it's carving out time for you, like in little things. I got the privilege of going to see Hamilton last night in Seattle, and it was lovely. And I find a lot of joy in just sitting outside and listening to the owls and the eagles and the birds and the wildlife. That brings me a lot of joy. Riding on the ferry for my commute while it's grounding, it brings me a lot of joy. When all the ferry workers aren't chatting my ear off. But
and you know who that is.
But we also get to see nature and just be, and I dance it out when I get really stressed and it's just overflowing. I dance it out with my kids. I just turn the music up because they need to see reality. Reality is life is challenging at times, and we're not 100% perfect, even keeled all the time. That's not reality. We have ups and downs, and we have good days and bad. And what we do with the bad days is really the important part. How do we turn it around? How do we still find some joy? I got knocked off my feet a little bit on Valentine's Day when my friend's in the ICU. She's been a client of mine for, over 25 years. I know her and her husband very well. And she had a heart attack and has been in the ICU. That just threw me a little bit of a curveball, and, makes you pause and take stock of what's really important. And, tomorrow is not a given for everyone. And so, what can we do to find that little bit of joy?
Right.
My sons wanted to color their hair blue. They're 7. And, often I get comments at school, oh, you're one of those progressive moms, or, whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm a hairstylist. It's just hair. If that makes them happy,
right.
So be it.
Right. Simple, easy. Michelle said I had the honor of shaking hands with Bishop Desmond Tutu when I worked at Disneyland. Oh, that's awesome.
How cool.
Yep. Dance it out. And Kira loves the book from Desmond Tutu. And the Dalai Lama. So, you brought up a really good point. We and many of you know her. May her soul rest in peace. Robin Toby. She passed away on February 8th. She was one of the original OGs in our group when we started, doing all of this during COVID. And she was my age. She was 60. And then we have our beautiful soul sister, Kathleen, or Kathy, whichever you want to call her. She wasn't feeling well. She had the flu, and she went to the urgent care and passed out. She passed out. She had cardiac arrest. They had to paddle her twice, and now she's in the hospital, and she has to get something to regulate her heartbeat. And she's your age. I was always going to say our age, but you're a little bit younger.
Not that much.
Still.
But it happens at any age, right? It happens at any age. There's, I've lost 6 clients in the last, 6 months of the year, and they were all different ages, from late 30s to, 80. But yeah, you kind of take life for granted sometimes. So I think finding that peace and finding a way to love yourself. And, I had a conversation with a girlfriend last night about her daughter, who, her ex-husband called her thick and body image. And, and so my girlfriend and I were both just chatting about how, it's so important to choose our words wisely, be thoughtful, and, and celebrate. Kids are growing, and they go out and they go up, and they go out and they go up. And, and to start that at such a young age is a terrible, terrible thing.
That's horrible. Rena, I hope I said your name correctly. Today's a month since my love took his last breath. He's younger, 52. May his memory be eternal in your heart, honey. So Ginger said she's taking up metal detecting. Okay. All right.
That's cool.
That's fun. And, Ginger could tell you the story. Ginger will be on our retreat that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But, Ginger being a cancer survivor, and I would say a warrior in that way. I mean, so important to take care of us. So important to take care of us. So what would a typical session with you look like?
Well, it depends on what your focus is, but we meet, we chit chat about, kind of the circle of life, where you're at in all areas of life. And then we pick 3 areas that you want to work on. And then we set goals, and we communicate to see how we can move through. So I'm really just a big advocate. And if you're, I have a client that's struggling with her diabetes diagnosis. So let's meal plan. Let's talk about, wearing one of those, blood glucose meters to kind of regulate and be able to help track better, to know what your body's doing, because everybody's body's different. And we all know stress really impacts your body as well. So we try to make that a fun and a good learning session.
Yeah, that's
Definitely
important.
not diagnosing anybody, but at the same time, I can help aid in the process once they've gotten a diagnosis from their doctor, which is fun. It's fun to be able to have somebody on your side advocating, because it's a little overwhelming, especially, if you end up with diabetes or, high blood pressure. You're like, okay, wait a minute, what am I supposed to do with this?
Right.
It's
Right.
information overload. So yeah, I'm a big advocate.
And that's important. I think it's important that we have to look at where in our lives is something not clicking, right? Where are we needing that extra oomph for that extra jump in our life? And that's important. It's really important. I'm going to pull this up. Let's see if I can do it real quick. And guys, does anybody have questions for Jaime while I look and see if I can share the screen like this? We'll see. I think this is it. I did it. Oh my God. Okay, exciting. All right. Can you see what I'm looking at? Or no?
I can see it, but I don't know
Oh,
if
okay.
anyone else can.
Yeah, I think they can. So here we are at Studio Jade, LLC.com. And, we have wonderful coaching food blog. They're the boys.
Yeah.
And they've changed from this picture.
Tremendously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
Testimonials. There we go. So the about picture. There you go. There you are. That's a great picture. And then the coaching piece. So go take a look. She's got all this stuff. You can look at all the stuff that she has on here, and it is a good stuff. Well, now I hear them.
You
Hello.
hear the kids?
Hello, Vanya. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Anybody have any questions? Adventure of Lynn, hello. Fashionton, hello. What time is it in Greece? 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in Greece? Wow. That's early for you, Eleni. It's early for you. Okay. Love us. Have to get back to work. All right. Love to you too. Thanks, Ginger. Thanks for being here. And you can love us, and you love you too. So thank you. All right. It's all good. It's all good. So, you brought up something really important, and I'm gonna just gonna say it here. When we all look at rather our lives and how we're shifting and what we're doing and how it helps us to get that whole piece of continuity. I think that's what we're missing, is that continuity and the fluidity of life. And I know that life sometimes feels like this, right? I think what you do is you bring that back into what we used to call in massage school homeostasis. You just bring it back to this norm. Thanks, Lynn, for popping in. Thanks, Sheila. Hi, Debbie. Everyone's popping in, popping out, popping in, popping out. And I think it's important. I think it's important to figure out what we do and how we do it, right?
We need to come back to center for sure. If you're not centered in yourself, you're not going to be able to help anyone else.
Totally.
And the number one person that you need to help is you. Nobody else is going to help you the way you need it, because they're not living in your body. They can't tell, oh, my knees hurt today, or they don't know if you're drinking your water like you're supposed to, eating all the right things,
Right. I think it's so powerful when we can finally commit to our growth, whether it's physical health or emotional eating or mindset shifts. That's why I created the Mindset of Love Retreat. It's all about stepping into the best version of self. And, when you talk about transformation, I want to take a minute to invite all of you to something really special. If you're ready to break through old patterns and create real life-lasting change, we got a retreat for you. Jamie's coming on the retreat, so you guys can meet her live and in person, which would be great. And what I like to tell people is this: I want everybody here, just take a moment, just to close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes. And I want you to think about, what would it feel like if you were to change today? Just today. You change one little thing. Keep your eyes closed. And what's the cost of not changing? Think about that. Have you ever felt like you're doing all the right things, you're reading the right books, you're going to workshops, and you're trying to heal, but deep down you still feel stuck? I get it. You've been there. I've been there. And we both can tell you the real transformation happens when you step into an experience, when you do the deep work in a safe place with the right tools. So let me ask you, what's the cost of staying exactly where you are? I mean, you have an opportunity with the Mindset of Love retreat. It's your chance to break through once and for all. Get coaching from Jaime. Get the coaching from Jaime and come to the retreat, because we're going to release the emotional blocks that hold you back. We're going to heal old wounds in a powerful, immersive experience, and we're going to reconnect with yourself and your purpose. You know, if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. This is it. Stop waiting. You deserve it. And while I'm talking, I'm still trying to look at, how am I pulling up this piece? Where the heck is it? And I can't find it. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Well, I thought I had it up here, and oh, there it is. Here it is. The Mindset of Love retreat. It is, we're going to do rhythmic soul sound healing. And Jaime, what would you say that was all about for you? Because that was a cool experience.
It was an amazing experience. It was intense, and I was really shocked and caught off guard.
And I like doing that. I like shocking people and catching them off guard. It's really great. We're going to talk about the mindset principles. We're going to talk about different ways of loving self and relationships and career and your purpose. And we're going to do energy cord cutting and a whole bunch of other experiential type of exercises. We have a post retreat. Ginger will be there. Lisa Nolan Shalowski will be there. Laura Wusta will be there, and myself. And I'm excited for it. So, you know, come join us. And we talked about this yesterday, but I'm gonna bring it up as soon as I figure out how to get this back. There we go. If you haven't, it just became a bestseller, guys. Synchronicity. And soon, Jaime might be one of these people on the back. Did you like how I threw that in there?
Yeah, that's funny.
On the back of the book. I think it's awesome. So take a look at Synchronicity. And if you read it, awesome. If you haven't read it, please go and
good one.
There's 30 of us in here. 30 of us. And
I have to admit, I listened to it. I didn't read it. I did it on Audible, okay. Which was fabulous, by the way.
And it's from Kira's publishing company, As You Wish Publishing. So awesome. And then I will also say, everybody, this is what we're going to talk about on the retreat. It's part of it, the mindset principles. I mean, it is changing the FU to thank you, but it is the mindset principles. So we're going to be talking about that. Again, how they get a hold of you is going to Studio Jade LLC.com. I'm trying to find, Delora just put it in here. And it's way up at the tippy top, or it's right here. Studio, nope, that's not it, because I did it wrong. It is Studio Jade, JADE, and LLC.com. And Delora, what did I just had it here. There we go. Studio Jade LLC.com. And I'm going to write it in here just so people see it one more time. JadeLLC.com. And we did have a question, which was pretty cool. So hang on. Okay. Thanks, Delora. DDTT, what advice does Jaime have about unrecognized inflammation all over the body? Barking on the fruit.
Inflammation.
Yes.
Inflammation. Unrecognized inflammation. So there's a lot of things that can lead to inflammation. That's a very large question. Inflammation is something I've battled. For me personally, in my job as a hairstylist, I've been exposed to a lot of nasty chemicals that we are just now starting to address in our products that we use on our clients. And it's the continual exposure to that. And so for me personally, and quite a few of my coworkers that I've worked with over the years, we end up in that autoimmune cycle because of the inflammation. It has to do with your environmental toxins. It has to do with what you're feeding in your body, and it has to do with stress. There is a lot of research coming out about gut health and fixing your gut biome and really focusing on your internal health. They talked a lot about how our skin was our biggest organ, because of the surface space, but now they're changing that to actually include the stomach, because it is, our whole, everything that we eat and drink goes through this huge long chain. And it's foolish to not think that has some impact. I see inflammation. I have a lot of clients that deal with inflammation. I deal with inflammation. So you can make dietary changes. You can make mental health changes. I listened to a fabulous meditation and self-hypnosis, which really helped internally calm your fight or flight, your cortisol. So there's a lot to dive into inflammation.
Yeah, it's a big thing. And did you guys know 36 feet? You have 36 feet of intestinal.
Yeah, that's a huge amount of surface for, for our bodies. And, there's pesticides on food, there's chemicals, it's such a huge, huge thing. And we just really did not have the knowledge around it. It wasn't something that was really researched until the last decade or so.
Right.
And so it's been a big pivotal shift. And for me personally, when I have somebody in my chair and I'm doing their hair, I can tell whether they're healthy or not by their skin tone and their hair. I can tell that there's stuff going on just by looking at them. It's such a big filter for us.
And we have to take care of it, guys. And that's why Jaime does the work that she does.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you're in the book and talk about everything that you do as a businesswoman. All right, guys. Gabriella, hello, my friend. You remember Jaime. Jaime, you remember Gabriella.
Yes.
CEO 35, thank you for being here. So if you just popped on, you guys are going to have to watch the replay. We're normally not on Sundays, but we will be on tonight at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern for guided meditation tonight. So come join us. Jaime, thank you for taking the time out today. And
thanks for having me on.
Of course, anytime. So guys, again, one more time, please take a look at Studio Jade, Jade, LLC.com. And we'll talk to you all soon. Remember, we are here to connect. And when we connect, we educate. And when we educate, we grow. There is unity in community. From our hearts to yours. Thanks, everybody. Have a good
thank you.
afternoon or morning or evening or wherever you're at. Just have a good day. We'll talk to you soon. See you soon.